Labor and Social Development from the unit of the family. I'm here today with Carol to discuss something very important on International Day of the Family.
Okay.
It's true we all have families where we come from and the families we have made. We value those families because they made us who we are.
Very true.
And we should stand to be responsible for the families we are making, so that our children also become responsible like you and me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, we know that a family is the smallest unit of our community, and we have a nuclear family and an extended family. Surely everybody learned that in this high school or primary.
Yeah.
And but my question would be, just to start us off, the family today is very, very affected. Here, since we believe in God, we call it being attacked by the enemy. So you find that children of today are clashing with their parents on a high level. They claim their parents do not understand them. Why? Because they want to sit and be on social media the whole day. They don't want to do anything at home because for them they are planned children and all those kinds of things. As a person who deals with families at a personal level, at an intimate level, what do you have to say about the community of today, and what do you have to tell the parents out there that want to, bring up a good generation, but they're failing because of the hearts of those children that they have brought to this world?
Thank you, Carol. Viewers should know that the children of today have been consumed on social media 90% of their time. The social media is not bad. It's for entertainment, information sharing, education, and a platform for learning. But when we misuse it, it misleads and misguides the children. If you see the children consumed on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter, etc., if you peep whatever they are watching, at times when they enter in and my children are on smartphones, they panic. And I wonder why they panic. And when I go to check whatever they are going through, or at least I'm happy it's not pornography, but it is something else entertaining. I usually tell them to use the smartphone for like checking their homework when I'm not there or their father is not there, so that they get the right answers, or reading in advance. So if they breach that, there's a way they feel they're not doing the right thing and they panic. That means when I'm not there or their father is not there to supervise, they can misuse the phone for watching pornography. That leads them into irresponsible sexual behavior. It leads them to incest. Because with children, learn through what they see, what they hear, and what others do.
Very true.
So after watching pornography, they can practically go and have it with their brothers and sisters.
Oh my God.
That is what happened during the lockdown, especially. You see children even using the phone when they are eating. During our time, we used not to do that. When you're eating, you focus on eating, and that's it.
Very true.
Their food can get cold when they are so focused on the phone, watching a movie.
Our parents wouldn't even allow that.
They will not allow that. So parents should style up. Children are our own. We supervise them, and we have responsibility or a duty of care towards them.
Okay.
Our children should do what we want. There should be time regulated for using of the phone. When they are for homework, that's fine. You give them time for homework. You give them time for using the smartphone. Even you should supervise when you're there, and you should know what they're watching. That could be different at one point. Me, in the evening, after prayers at 9, I take all their phones.
Oh.
Yeah, I take all their smartphones.
They
sleep in my bedroom, and I'm the one who charge it overnight. So I give it to them in the morning. Of course, when I'm in office during the daytime, you lose control of, but at least by removing it from them in the night, you can stop certain misbehavior that
it's a strategy
and supervised. So parents can do that. They can regulate the use of smartphones. My children, before, when you reach the university, that's when we give you a smartphone. So this one's in primary, use either my phone or their father's phone.
Oh.
So in an event that you have traveled, there is a tablet. We encourage them to use it only for homework. They can bridge it fine, but they will have already known what you want as a parent. Your work is to give them guidance. I want you to use this for A, B, C, D. In case of any breach, you will have played your role as a parent.
Very true.
At times they get into bad habits from friends. Their friends could have gotten some programs on social media and they introduce your child to those bad programs. So you should know who your child interacts with, what they do when they are together, and the time of their interaction.
Yeah.
So you should supervise your children day and night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You know, birds of a feather flock together, and the Bible also says bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah.
Just like you can put a rotten tomato in a basket of fresh ones, it will end up damaging the rest. Yeah.
Sure.
So you are the principal social development officer at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and you are in the section of family.
Yeah, family unit.
How is that? How is that ministry doing in terms of family? How are you impacting our community when it gets to the mandate you have as that office of the ministry?
In fact, the Ministry of Gender has done a lot. Like today, we are commemorating International Day of the Family
Very true.
among the global community. This is a commitment. This shows how Uganda as a country is committed in protecting the institution of the family. In fact, we have done a lot. We have developed the National Family Policy.
Yes.
It's already in cabinet, waiting cabinet approval.
Okay.
And once the National Family Policy is approved, in the offing we have draft programs already to help us implement the policy. We have already drafted the National Family Strengthening Program for Uganda.
Wow.
And that will look at the social components of the family. It will look at the economic component of the family. It will look at the psycho-social component and the cultural and the religious. It is very comprehensive.
Wow.
Because we have realized as a ministry that we have been making interventions that at the end of it all splits the family apart. We pull out children, then we say orphans and vulnerable children grants. We pull out youth, then we say youth livelihood program.
Okay.
We pull out women, then we say UWEP, Uganda Women's Entrepreneurship Program. We pull out people with disability and we say disability grants. Then we pull out older persons and we say SAGE. It has ended up pulling family members apart. But we are looking at that whole family that will be supported to because when we are now making recoveries, for example, under the Youth Livelihood Program, the parents would say, you gave money to the youth, you did not consult us, so we don't know where you are. Use your own strategies to get the money you gave to them.
Wow.
Even the women we supported, some of them became big-headed, and instead of strengthening the family, they were breaking families. These were unintended consequences we did not expect.
So all these are government programs, they're not working out?
They are working out, but we want a consolidated program where we sit together with the parents and the children and identify a family venture or an enterprise, and they each have a role to play. They will own it and they will sustain it. Our own government programs are very good, but we want to strengthen the component of ownership and sustainability. It will benefit the family more. Yeah, because like under disability, they can, under livelihoods, they can give a disabled child, a goat under livelihood support. Then they'll say, Patrick, first tie your goat before you go to school. And Patrick there are those challenges that are associated to lack of ownership and sustainability that we identified. So we are convinced that if we take the family as a unit and we make everybody participate with clear roles, they will own it and see it's mine, it's ours. And we are going to sustain it, and it will strengthen the family at the end of it all. Because when we reduce family vulnerability, everybody will be okay.
But if you focus on that, you realize we have a problem, an issue of older persons living together. I mean, living alone. It has become an issue. You find an old lady, 70, she's alone in the house. How will you handle this matter?
We care a lot about older persons because all of us are going to grow old, Carol.
Very true.
And that's why government of Uganda has we have a policy, National Social Protection Policy that covers older persons.
Okay.
To reduce on the level of vulnerability. In Uganda, for example, we encourage the family to take care of everyone, children, youth, people with disability, men, women, and the elderly, the older persons. We encourage them to stay within the family institution.
Okay.
But for a reason or the other, some organizations are creating homes for older persons, which is not natural, which is not cultural in Uganda. In Ugandan context, when you grow old, you still stay within the family setting and you will be taken care of by the family members, including your children and grandchildren. That is what we are advocating for in Uganda. We want everybody not to isolate older persons because they took care of you and made you who you are. In their old age, that they have become incapacitated, you should be around to take care of them. You as the child, or as the grandchild, or as the uncle, or as the auntie. That is within the reach of that person.
Now you're taking away their phones at night. Now when you grow old, they'll be like, Mommy, you took away our phones at night. Now also us, this is our time to leave you alone.
What is good is, I explain to them whatever action
why you do it.
Yeah, why I do it, I explain to them. Because one time, my girl who is in P7 was very sleepy during the day and it was a Saturday. I checked her temperature and said, Michelle, are you okay? Are you fine? Yes, Mommy, I'm okay. But she was what?
Dozing.
Yeah, she was dozing in the sitting room. Then I asked her younger sister, Carol. She's also Carol.
Oh, wow.
Carol, first come, I talked with her in confidence. And Carol said, Mommy, after we prayed and we went to our bedroom, Michelle was watching, using the phone. I said, up to what time? She said, I slept off, and she continued using the phone. So that was an indicator that all of them, because I have 4 children, all of them are capable of using the phone at that time. So to control, to make them sleep and have a good time as children, I told them the hours necessary for a child to sleep. Yeah. Less than 8 hours is not healthy, according to medical people. So always I explain to them why I do what I do, and I convince them that it is for their own good.
Okay, thank you very much.
You don't just pull away someone's phone. You tell them, from today onwards, this is the program. And I'm doing like this because it is distracting you from sleep. I want you to have a good sleep so that you go during the daytime and study well. She was even going for what? For coaching. And
in P7
the teacher even realized it, yes, that she was not very active.
Wow.
So after that, I saw some difference. That's why parents should always keep on the lookout. Be on the lookout. What your children are doing, how they behave at certain times and why they behave. You should try to find out why they behave the way they do at certain moments that are awkward. Yeah, it should draw your attention. Everything. And also parents have a problem. They are always stuck on the phone instead of interacting with the children so that you know what they're doing, whether they're doing the right thing or not. You go home, you're stuck on the phone, you're stuck on the laptop because you're meeting deadlines, and yet we are advocating for creating meaningful time for children, family time.
Thank you so much. And there is where I want to cross to the family. We as families, we have different challenges. And could you point out a few of these challenges that, first of all, are faced by families, but also because families have different challenges. The challenge at my family might not be the challenge at Brinko's family, might not be the same challenge that you are facing. So what are some of the common ones that keep appearing in your offices as maybe the Ministry of Gender?
Yeah, as we continue doing this work and as we interact with communities, there are some key features that are almost in all the districts in Uganda. For example, number 1 is the issue of divorce and separation. Yeah, we used to attach a lot of importance to marriage within the family. Young people no longer value the marriage institution. They just get into a relationship in the morning and in the evening they are off the relationship. They can marry today and tomorrow they are off. They have lost that degree of patience which our parents had. Our parents used to stay in relationships that were not perfect and to me that is why they took care of us. The current generation, especially The ones behind me, like the Caros, are very impatient. Yeah. My parents are there, my dad is there, my mom is there, I'm going back home. And yet our parents went through a lot for the sake of the children. So the issue of divorce and separation is very high. The issue of not recognizing the value of marriage is the root cause of family divorce and separation. You know, somebody can make somebody's daughter pregnant and stay with them for centuries without even think of marrying them. And any woman, including you and me, when you're not married, you don't feel stable in that relationship.
Of course.
Yeah. So for a woman to feel steady in a relationship, you should formally get her married, and she will start producing children when she knows this is my family and I have to take care of it. Whatever challenges that may come, she can withstand it. We have already talked about the social media that has infiltrated the family a lot. Both parents and children have a role to play to combat this. And in relation to our theme on climate resilience or climate change, the family has been affected by climate change a lot. We hear of landslides. Who gets displaced?
Families.
It is the family. You hear of floods. Now we have droughts. It is affecting production.
Yep.
And according to Minister of Finance, we have a reduction. We used to export coffee and get a lot from coffee. There is a reduction of 40% in our production and export.
Yeah,
yes,
very true.
And that is too high. Who suffers at the end of it all?
Families.
It is the family. Because families produce, then we get money to support education, to support health, to support everything that affects the family. So without any economical level of income, the family gets drained. There's also poverty at household level. That's why we were thinking of economically empowering families. When you have a disadvantaged parent, because when we talk about the family, it is the parents at the forefront. When you have a disadvantaged parent or a vulnerable parent, he or she cannot protect the children from vulnerability. At times we get shocked to hear parents telling their daughters to get married off, just like the neighbors. Why? Because they feel the pinch of poverty and want to get rich very fast. And besides, they don't encourage their children to get married for love. They encourage them to get married for wealth. That is why at the end of it, when you marry for wealth or other riches or other reasons, the relationship will not stay in case you don't get what you went for. But if you marry for love, you will stay and you persevere, though there are certain circumstances that you may fail to withstand.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gender-based violence in the family, GBV. Parents are fighting, children are fighting. At the end of it all, at times they even kill themselves. There are situations where women killed even men. It used to be men killing women. But of recent, the trend has changed. Women are getting more violent. They are killing fellow women. At times they pour acid on the co-wife or on the husband. At times they burn you with hot water or hot oil. At times they hit you with a hammer or something hard. Women are killing left and right. Men are also killing. So we are destroying the family institution from the God-given purpose. The family God gave us is to be protected. The family of husband and wife.
True.
That is what we value. Then the issue of, now this is what I'm not going to talk about much.
Okay.
In Uganda, we value the family of husband and wife, and that is why male and female, and that is why we have covered it in our national family policy. Yeah, this one is also eating up our society. It was not there initially, but young people are getting derailed. They get into relationships they don't understand. So parents should sit down and talk to children and tell them the value of the God-given family that has the father, the mother, the children, and the extended members of the family.
So you're trying to say today people want to just have a husband-wife full stop?
Carol, there are some men who are marrying men If a man
Oh.
marries a man, can they produce children?
No, they cannot.
Now, if your mother had married another woman, would she have produced you?
Absolutely
Would
not.
they have produced me?
No.
That means there will be no future. And that is not divine purpose of God, creating the institution of the family. The God-given family is mother and father, or male and female. Then, there are some women who marry women to women and men to men. Those are the things that is confusing the young people especially, because adults like me cannot go for such things.
Of course.
We are only worried for the young generation. So parents should talk to their children that it is the mother and the father family that has made them who they are. And we want a continuation through them. We also want to see them get married and give us grandchildren. So we should tell them, we should guide them, because there are other people attacking our children from out. That is why parents should really create time to talk to their children, to demystify the wrong information they get from other people, from peers, from other people who are jealous of your children, and from others who misinform, and for others who have ulterior motive. And you know, at times, to attack your family, a person will attack you, Carol, knowing that if you attack through me, through my daughter, Carol, I get hit hardest.
Of course.
Yeah. So they go through your children, they destroy your children, and at the end of it all, you're finished.
You're finished.
That is why we should be on the lookout to supervise our children, to see who they interact with and what they do when they're interacting, and the time at which they do it. You should know your children and their friends and even their families they come from. Then we instill the value of religious and cultural values in them at an early age. When you see a God-fearing child and a culturally sensitive child who has been brought up from the age of 3 is okay, they understand, from 3 onwards, makes a great difference with an adult of 18 to 20 years whom you may try and even fail. So we should start mentoring our children at an early age, as young as, even through 3 is late, as young as 2 years. Yeah.
Train up a child in the way you want them to go, and when they grow up, they will never depart from those
Very
ways.
true.
All right, so I want to go to another point. How does climate change come into play when we are looking at this particular topic, celebrating the International Day of Families, every May 15th, which is today? How does climate change come into power? Because I'm saying here climate change is the long-term shift of temperatures and weather patterns. And I'm just trying to relate that to. Can you help us on that?
You know, this is the global theme which we adapted as our national theme because of its relevance.
Okay.
Climate change affects the family in 2 ways. One, the family contributing to worsening the situation of the climate to make it worse than what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Then number 2, when the climate has gotten out of hand, that is worse, it is the family that suffers.
Oh, yes.
So, when we take the component of the family contribution to making the climate situation worse, we do it through a number of ways, like cutting down of trees for charcoal, for example, or firewood. It is worse in the rural communities. We cut down trees and we don't plant more trees. So that has led to the emission of that green gas, more of carbon dioxide. That is why we have global warming. It's the heat is higher than what it used to be.
Yeah.
That is because we have destroyed trees and we have not planted trees. Burning. During the dry season, we burn a lot of trees. Vegetation gets destroyed for both plants and animals. When we burn trees, they get dry. We are still getting rid of the very trees that should purify the atmosphere. Again, when we use the soil badly, in a poor way, and when the trees are already gone, soil erosion will come in. When soil erosion comes in, the roads will be destroyed. Even the houses, some houses have dropped down due to.
Yeah, we run the stories here.
Yeah. You get floods, you know, you get
Mudslides.
diseases, mudslides, in like the one in Bududa. You get diseases, you know. All these are affecting the families. The families get displaced. You know, this is your home and you're displaced to another location. There's a way it disorganizes you. Even at times children fail to go to school because of displacements. You've already seen when there is floods and drought, the food security is threatened. And when the family is food insecure, everything is not working. It will still take us to what I told you earlier on. When there's no food in the house, GBV comes in. And who suffers most? It is the what? It is the family. So the family can contribute to making the situation worse, and the family can also contribute to making it better.
Okay.
By planting trees, by using alternative sources of energy, by cultivating well, by not burning trees, by not building in wetlands. Families build in wetlands.
Yeah.
We have seen them. That is where at times they get displaced when water is claiming its own location.
Territories.
Yeah, its own territory. Families build in wetlands, families cut trees. Cut one, plant another one. Yeah, so we should get into an habit of using our natural resources responsibly.
Okay.
So it is a two-way. You contribute, then you get. Because when we don't contribute, the result still comes back on the family.
Yeah.
Government has tried. Government has made a number of policies and regulations, but people are not following. I'm surprised people still build in wetlands, even when they know.
After government warning.
Yeah, waste disposal. You see how we dispose of plastics, caveras, blocking water sources, blocking even drainage patterns. People are doing a lot of things that is harmful to the climate. That is why we are suffering now. But if we all act responsibly, we can reverse the pattern and the family enjoys a good weather.
Thank you so much. Now, let's look at awareness, strategies of awareness that you have maybe come up with as the Ministry of Gender, as people responsible for this particular cause. There must be strategies to let the person deep down in Kumi know what to do. How are you going to raise awareness? Because we believe the role of the media is to bring such people to talk to our viewer out there. And then there must be a way to find, to get this information onto the last person in the village. And I would like to understand how government is planning for that.
In fact, NEMA is already doing that. But because as Minister of Gender, we have that social component of a person.
Yeah.
Unless you touch it, the person will not change. We need to work on their mindset change. So we have our, after the International Day of the Family, we are going to embark on implementing our media advocacy plan. In fact, we already started. We were on radio stations, a number of them.
Okay.
Like Akabozi, Radio 1, we are on with them. Today I'm on Family TV.
Yeah.
In the evening, my colleagues will be in other media houses. Even today, we are going to agree on how we can combat that.
Okay.
In the meantime, we are going to use our national and district level structures.
Okay.
In the districts, we have the community-based services department that has community development officers at sub-county levels and the parish chiefs. They are responsible for community mobilization and sensitization and mindset change. So we want to develop a common message and pass out to them. When I'm on Family TV, I pass on the same message.
Yeah.
When I'm on a radio station, I pass on the same. When I'm in Kampala or somebody in Nebi, we pass on the same message at different levels.
Okay.
Then we want to have a meeting with the media houses on how we can do that.
Okay.
I'm sure it's going to work. We want to bring everybody on board so that everybody plays a role as an individual and as a community, so that we work on the effect of climate change. That will be for the good of the family.
Wow, beautiful discussion with my guest, Miss Otto. Mrs. Otto?
Otto, yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Otto, thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful discussion. And I hope that you out there are learning a lesson or two about families, but also about climate change. As you can see, it affects families in the long run. My name is Cara. We are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Ontario, and we are going for a short break. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Family TV, enriching lives.
I get annoyed, then I go and I throw the phone on the bed, then I get out, I go and help her. And when I'm even helping her, I even do a mistake just because of that anger.
Negative impact of them mostly is social immorality in schools, because we as the young, we're very inquisitive, we want to know more about each and everything, so that anxiety in us pushes us to do a lot of stuff that degrades us in some way that we don't know. Mostly circulation of pornography.
Hard work pays but pains. You can go through this now, like in boarding. I wasn't so used to going for preps in the night. You can doze. And the teacher is all like, "Aya night dancer."
I'm by the names of Nanyanzi Faith, aka Felicity Superstar. I think the school should get more supervisors or more teachers, such that when each person is searching, the teacher should be there to see what are you searching. Are you searching work? Or so the teacher should be there seeing, or you can get the cameras and you check, are you doing work or
for the educations, what do you have for our children? Because you spend most of the time with our children, because our children are with you most of the time than us. So educationist, what do you have? I think this is very important for each one of you.
This is a role to be played by very many parties. Number one, we must have a role played by a parent. At home, let me begin with at home. If you're giving your child a phone, first of all, to me, I support a parent buying either a laptop or these smart TVs so that a child can use such a public gadget to have education. But I may not support a parent buying a phone, a personal phone, to a primary kid, even secondary, mostly all levelers. But they can be having a laptop, having data, and they make research. When it comes to television, there are some television that are smart televisions. It is public, placed somewhere at home on the wall. Everybody is seeing what the girl is searching, what the boy is searching.
I encourage and urge the parents to give our children more time. I know that days are bad economically, so they are forced to leave homes very early in the morning and come back very late in the night, hence leaving our children in the hands of the house managers, those are the maids and other people. But much as we have to move by, run up and down to fend for our families, I encourage you, dear parents, find time to sit with our children, guide them on how to behave, impart the values, your family values, our national values in our children, so that we can have upright citizens in future.
We have left our children, exposed them to digital medias. We have our cell phones, we have the TVs, we have laptops. We just give them to our children and we do not monitor them. We do not sensitize them on the dangers of using them. We as parents more so, to limit the dangers of these digital medias more so. Technology has gone very high. All that is shown on these digital media screens isn't all good for our children's consumption. As parents, we have to come out and sensitize our children on which programs to watch. I just call upon the government, please supervise the media houses so that whatever is shown on the screen is worth it. Just supervise and tell them to give the age limit. What is worth it for the children, for the students to watch? Otherwise, because of the development in technology, yes, we want it, we yearn to see our country developing, but we also have to see the negative side of it.
We need to see how we can have our children guided, what they watch, what they do definitely enjoy. We should be part of that. Parents don't just neglect or leave everything to the housemaids, because you never know what kind of values they will instill in your children and grandchildren.
Learn how to get the right content on the gadgets that your children are using, on television. Don't leave them unsupervised. You don't know what is happening to your child. They don't have to go out to a disco hall. They don't have to go out to do anything, but they might be going down as they stay with that gadget in the bedroom. You don't know what they are watching. Today we call upon you to take interest in that.
Because these days there are so many programs on TV, but also in other media, where our children, they watch those programs. Some of them are destructive, others drain them, others are broke to them for their today and for their future. So we need to be, as parents, interested in what our children are watching, what they are seeing, and what they are engaged in.
I'm sure this is just a beginning, because the program will be there all the time, and the sensitization on how our children can really be on screens, but they have constructive programs for their total transformation, for their...
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Like our mission says here at Church of Uganda Family TV, to bring to every home the very best in family-friendly programs with a Christian focus that the whole family can enjoy together. As you have heard from our leaders, we are promoting the Safe Screens, Safe Kids campaign, where we must make sure that our children are consuming the right consuming the right content. You know, it is a foreign language, so forgive me. Yeah, but it is a very, very good plan, and I'm trying to get my guest today, Mrs. Otto, to get the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to join the rally, to join the fight against very, very indecent content for our children. That is a Safe Screen, Safe Kids campaign that is going on here, and we are partnering with all other media houses. And so we ask you at home, the viewer, to be a part of us. If you are a parent, if you are a guardian, this is our time. And of course, as we continue with our show today, because of time, we are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. For reservations, you can call the number on your screen. My name is Carol, and I'm here with the Principal Social Development Officer, Family Sector. Her name is Miss Lucy Otto. We are glad you are here. The discussion has been great, and we would like to continue it. We have some interventions that Uganda has put in place to reduce the effects of climate change. Of course, the government has implemented a number of them already, but there are those that are in the pipeline. If you could shed more light on that before we cross to the commemoration of the big day today.
Thank you, viewer. In fact, there is a great political will in Uganda as a country.
Yeah.
First of all, to protect the family, and also from the adverse effect of climate change. I appreciate the commitment of our President and the First Lady in protecting the institution of the family. That morale keeps us going, and we commit to doing a lot. If we take a flashback to to national commitments, like in 2015, Uganda launched its national climate change policy. When we have a policy in place, that policy will give national guidance to what should be done on the ground. So this policy that was developed in 2015 has been nationally rolled out and even rolled out to the district levels where the environment officers are in. It is now upon us to absorb the content of the policy and roll it out to all levels. And you know, this is more of a personal commitment. Government can come out with smart policies, but if we don't change our mindset to use the policies positively, we shall not still achieve the results we want. And if I go chronologically, even in 2018, Uganda developed the National Framework Convention on Climate Change in 2018.
Okay.
And this is linked to the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN 2030. This is a global commitment, meaning Uganda is part of the global community to fight the adverse effect of climate change for the welfare of the family. If I go further, I see like around 2021, there are some arid places like in Karamoja and other places that need more of water. We have developed valley dams. We have put in place shallow wells and boreholes to support human beings and their livestock from the adverse effect of climate change. If I take you now, if I narrow down to NEMA has done a lot, even telling people not to build in wetlands, and people are still building in wetlands. Giving guidance on disposal of wastes, people are still disposing wastes as they want. Guidance on use of plastics, use of caveras, a lot within the national climate change policy. So as I stated earlier on, there are a number of other government documents that relates to this. But even if we develop the policy and the people have not yet changed their mindset to absorb, then we may not still get the required changes that will protect the family. We shall still face landslides. We shall still encounter floods. We shall have reduced production, that is increasing food insecurity. We shall have our bridges washed away because of human actions. Of course, there are some natural calamities that are above our control. But the human-made actions even contribute like almost 80 to 90% of destruction or negative impact on climate change. So I call upon all members of the family, including you and me, to take individual actions to combat the negative effects of climate change that is impacting negatively on the family, affecting a lot of things, social, economically, politically, and psychologically. Thank you.
Right. I hope that the family people, the family guys here at Family TV, the ones who have wives, husbands, and children, have had this very well. Brinko Ategeka, Norman Conte, guys, everybody, we are calling upon families at this time to come together for this cause. Let's end with the program for today as we commemorate the International Day of Families. I believe we are a family here at Church of Uganda Family TV, so we are called Family TV, so literally we work with the family. Yes, so we really do commemorate this day as a special one, even for us. So take us through maybe the activities of the day. I understand you're going to have community dialogues. Tell us about the day as we close the show.
Thank you, viewer. Today is the 15th of May, 2024. It's the day we commemorate International Day of the Family, and we have been doing that annually because it's a commitment, as I told you earlier on, and it's a global commitment. The whole world today is commemorating International Day of the Family. And Uganda, being part of the global community, always celebrates through Ministry of Gender. Immediately after leaving
here,
I'll grab Carol and our colleagues and we go to Nakawa, National ICT Center.
Okay.
That is our national venue for today.
Wow.
Prior to today, we had engaged a number of stakeholders on the theme so that we get their views on the theme. We had community consultations. We had consultations with stakeholders like Makerere University, Ministry of Water and Environment and Natural Resources.
Yes.
A number of stakeholders who work in relation to in relation to climate change. We dug deeper into the main cause, because you can solve a problem by digging out on the main cause. So we lumped them up into the main cause, the perpetrating factors, and how we can solve it. So in the symposium we had earlier on and the community dialogues with the various stakeholders, we have a draft document that is going to be presented today by the guest speaker.
Okay.
We have a symposium. There are guest speakers who are specialized on issues of climate change. Besides their presentations, we are going to present what we have documented from the community. You know, the community voices are very important because that is our center of focus for change. So we shall go through what we collected from the community and also from our discussants and from the keynote speaker. Then we come up with one concrete paper that will not stop today. The advocacy continues. We want to bring everybody on board so that we see how to combat the effect of climate change. People have already arrived and they're still arriving. Our guest of honor is going to be our minister, our Minister of Gender, Honorable Betty Amongi.
Wow.
She has invited our fellow ministers and members of parliament.
Okay.
I'm sure they're already there. That's why immediately after here, I should go and accompany my team so that we welcome our guests and ensure the program goes on well.
Okay.
We have exhibitions. When you go today, you'll find exhibition tables on family documents, on parenting documents. I did not touch on parenting. That is the whole issue.
You'll be back.
We've done a lot on parenting. We want parents to be responsible parents so that we bring up responsible citizens.
Okay.
And there's already talked about the public dialogue and discussion afterwards. We want to get people's views even after the symposium, even after giving what we have documented. In case we left out something, we're going to give public dialogue some 30 to 40 minutes so that we have a very compact technical document that we can submit and develop as an issue paper to address the issue of climate change, to protect the institution of the family.
Okay.
So we don't discriminate in the family. Everybody's there. We want parents to come with their children, to come with husbands and wives. Whoever is free is part of the family.
Okay.
So always lead to Nakawa ICT Center.
Thank you very, very much for this beautiful discussion.
Thank you for giving me this time, and thank you, viewers, for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Miss Lucy Otto, who is the Principal Social Development Officer, Family Sector. Thank you so much to the Ministry. Please, our regards to the Honourable Minister and the Honourable State Ministers from Family TV. Thank you so much to our viewer for being such a great audience. If you have commented on our social media platforms, I think you have already gotten a reply. Thank you so much for that as well. My name is Carol, and before I leave, I'd like to remind you that on every 3rd of June, we commemorate Uganda Martyrs Day. Among the martyrs were 23 Anglicans, 22 Catholics, and others, you know. And the celebrations will take place at the Uganda Martyrs Anglican site in Namgongo, and this year's event will be led by the dioceses of the Midwestern Cluster. Those comprise of Ruwenzori Diocese, West Ruwenzori Diocese, Diocese of East Ruwenzori, Masindi Kitara Diocese, Diocese of Bunyoro Kitara, and the South Ruwenzori Diocese. We, as Church of Uganda Family TV, are the official broadcasters, and we'll be bringing you the event live across our platform. And of course, around about this time last year is when I joined Family TV, and I'm celebrating a year already. I think I joined on the 15th of May, yes, and we were still in the Matters Day celebrations. We have only 19 days to go. As usual, we shall be bringing you live updates from the command center that is at Uganda Matters site. Now, the 23rd of May, this is how the program will run. The 23rd of May, we'll have Children's Day. Youth event will be on 24th May this month. Fathers Union and Christian Men Fellowship will have their event on 29th of May. 30 to 31st of May will be the Mission Crusade, and then we'll have the women's event or Mothers Union and Christian Women Fellowship on the 1st of June. 2nd of June, we'll have the Sunday services, since it will be a Sunday, and we'll climax it with the 3rd of June, which is the commemoration of the actual day of the Uganda Matters. My name is Carol Norman Tumwine, and from myself and the production crew, it is a good morning.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and